Hello everyone! Well, due to so many people asking and some topics on the online forum here, I've decided to put together a video showing people how to put together a statement of work. Now this is only going to be good if you live in BC and own a claim, so very small audience here. If you're outside BC or don't own a claim in BC, this video probably isn't going to be very good for you. You can watch anyways if you want, but this is just a how to fill out the paperwork for submitting your work hours for a claim. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you need to find the template that MTO has created for the statement of work. To do that, just go into a Google search and search for physical work report form and make sure you put in there MTO. Hit enter, and you're going to look down here for the forms, mineral, placer, titles, province of BC. There we go. That takes you to the MTO site where all their forms are, and within there you will be able to scroll down and find the physical work report form. That's this one right here. Oh, physical work. Just takes you down to the right section of the page, and you can open up the form. Wait for it, it's coming. Wait a long time apparently. I'm on a slow computer right now. There we go. Okay, so here's the template. This is the form you have to fill out. And it takes me about an hour to do one right. I can rush through them a little quicker than that, but to do one right, it takes me about an hour to fill one of these in. The form itself is only 3 or 4 pages long, but there is a bit more that you have to add to it in the end, like pictures and maps and verifications from submitting the hours on their website, those kind of things. So I'm going to just take you through how to fill out each of these things and what to do for each box along the way, and then what you have to do to add to it later. Okay, to start filling out information. Well, the first box here, the event number, you have to leave blank for now. You won't be able to get the event number until you've actually gone onto the MTO site and recorded your hours. But before we can do that, we have to figure out the value of our work, and we'll do that later on in this document. So we have to do that one later. Tenure number, let's see here. Mine is 103.8275. If you watch my videos and might remember a month or so ago, Pete and I went up to the Fraser by Lillooet to work a claim. Well, that's the claim I'm going to be doing the report for today and recording those hours up there. We do need to click that it's a placer. Now, the rope report is pretty much the same if you're doing a mineral versus a placer. The only difference with mineral claims is you can't use panning and sluicing as work hours, where on placer, that's mostly what you're going to be using. Okay, we need to put in some personal information. Who owns the claim? So it's me. Let's get this right. And Heard. Nope. Heard. First name Dan. Email is danheard@shaw.ca. Let me fix my typo here. Type in your address. Your city you're in. Or BC, obviously. Canada. Postal code. Ooh. Again. Fix the errors. Your telephone number. Oh, my telephone number is my cell number. We'll leave it at that. Okay, the next section here, you only have to fill out if the person running the claim is different than the owner. Now, because I'm running the claim and I'm the owner, I can just leave this one by itself, leave this one here blank. Also, if the person filling out the report is different again, we need to put their name in. But because I'm the owner, the report writer, and the person working it, I can just fill in this one section and leave it at that. Okay, where it says qualifications, I put in there how long I've been placer mining. So, placer mining for 6 years. There's my qualification. Okay, the work details. When was the work done? Well, I have a little chart that I always copy. I record all my hours in a little spreadsheet, and I will copy that spreadsheet on later on. So I'm just going to say in here, see attachment. And if you want to put in actual dates, I can't type today. If you want to put in actual dates, you can put in the actual dates you worked right in there. But I usually have a little chart that shows the time and what I did on each day. Close down the little error that popped up. That's just my old computer. Okay, work details. It is all handwork today. So I can just click on handwork. And there is no permit number because it is all handwork. So I can leave that. Are the work sites encumbered by private tenure? Surface tenures? No. In this case, it's not, so I can click on no. If it was yes, I would have had to submit a Section 19 form to the private landowner. I don't have to click anything here because I said no. Does it overlap a Crown grant? No, this one does not. If it did overlap a Crown grant, you would have to write in here some details about that Crown grant and what the Crown grant is allowed to do versus what the claim owner is allowed to do. Very seldom will you encounter that. Okay, now, the activities that we did. Well, I've got two different work sites on this claim. So work site number 1, there was just panning. So that's what I was doing there. We're just going to call that site number 1. It was a site that was about 10 meters by 20 meters. Now, that doesn't mean I dug a hole 10 meters by 20 meters. That was just the area over which I tested the ground. Little test holes here and there on that spot. I never dug more than ½ a meter deep, so I'm going to say 0.5. And in the time there, I moved very little amount. I was just doing little test holes. So I'm going to say 0.1 cubic meters, which is not very much at all. And again, 0.1 for the amount tested. Very, very small amount because I was just doing a few test holes on this one side. Okay, my second site, I was sluicing. Panning and sluicing. So panning and let's say high banking. Panning and high banking. We're going to call this site number 2. It was about 100 meters long, about 20 meters wide, and again I never dug more than 0.5. Now the amount excavated here is quite a bit more. I'm guessing right now. I didn't go out there and actually measure how much I moved, but I would say I moved probably 3 to 4 cubic meters. I'm going to say 4. And I'd say of the 3 or 4 I moved, I probably tested 3 of that. So I moved some more than I actually ran through my high banker, clearing off some overburden and whatnot. But there's some good numbers for me. The area, how big it was, and how much I moved in that area. Their rule of thumb is for panning is that you can pan 200 pans every 10 hours. Well, that's 20 pans an hour. 20 pans an hour means 1 pan every 3 minutes with absolutely no break time. I don't know about you, but I can't do that. I know I'm fast. I'm very fast at panning. I've won some speed panning competitions, but I can't maintain that rate for any length of time. So their rule of thumb is a little bit skewed, a little bit off. I figure if you're just panning, you can probably do half a yard in 10 hours. And even that might be pushing it a bit. So that might just give you an idea. If you're just panning and you're claiming 10 hours, you're probably going to be putting down something less than a yard worth of material moved. Okay, moving on. Okay, are photos of the worksite attached? Yes, I will attach it. Are the work sites marked in the field? Well, no. I'm going to say no, and then just right in here, I'm going to say completely reclaimed. Especially on this claim, because right now, where I was working will be underneath about 10 feet of water. Give it a month, it's going to be underneath 30 feet of water. So it's completely reclaimed. Can't tell where it was I was working. Okay. Did no surveying of any sort here. And the geographical location of the work sites. I'm going to have to actually type in here directions of how to get to these work sites. Okay, so I've figured out a lot of these directions ahead of time. I did a lot of work ahead before I created this video, just so you didn't have to watch me like put pictures into Word and whatnot. But the directions to this site are quite easy. So first you have to say from what town you're starting. So from the town of Lillooet, follow Highway 99 north for 15.6 kilometers. Park on side of highway. Follow footpath down to river, approx 0.6 kilometers. Work site is in dry side channel of main river. There we go. And now fix my typos. There we go. Okay, so directions on how to get to the dig sites. Now, some of them can be much more complicated when you have to do multiple turns onto multiple roads and whatnot. I've filled this box with some of them. This one is really simple because you're right on the main highway and then walking in. Okay, we will then need actual latitude and longitude of the dig sites themselves, Site 1 and Site 2. So when you're filling out this, you can either use your UTM or your Latin long. I always go Latin long, it's just the way I work. So I've got them recorded here. Site 1 is 50 degrees, 45, and 12.28 north, capital N. And for it's 121, 50, 37.67 west. Site 2 is very close actually. It's 50, 45, 11.16 north. And 121, 50, 39.61 west. So there's the coordinates of the two different dig sites I've got going on there. Now, these are areas that I've been working. These aren't specific holes. If I was to do specific holes I dug, I could have hundreds of entries. Because especially testing a claim, I'm digging here, there, everywhere else. And that's why I say that this one's about 10 by 20 meters. And then this one here is about 100 by 20. Two different areas, but they're big, vast areas that I was digging test holes here, there, and everywhere. I wouldn't do individual entries for every test hole. It would be a lot of work to start with, and there's not enough space here for all the holes I did. And I've never had MTO come back to me and complain that I'm doing areas like this, so I think it's okay. Okay, Now on to how much work you put into those areas. So travel can only be up to 20% of the overall value of the work. So, but the form calculates that for you. You can put as much as you want in there. It won't allow the calculations to go any more than 20%. So first work activity, I'm going to put my travel time. So I'm going to say travel to and from claim. And I am going to say in here that it is 3 trips with two cars. Okay, what type? They're SUVs. They were SUVs. Kilometers. It's just over 300 kilometers from my house to this place. And there were, let's see, okay. I'm going to be way over. I'm going to be way over. So I'm just going to say 1,200 kilometers. It's actually probably more than double that, but that's going to put me way over anyways. The rate for a regular SUV is 60 cents per kilometer. And you'll see that it sort of puts that into dollars already, and down at the bottom it says that, oh, it cost me $720 to get there. Well, it's not going to let me put in all 720 of that because it can only be 20% of your overall work, and it'll calculate that for you later. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to put on here is my time. So supervisor on 2 trips, see attachment for hours, and we can go over here, type supervisor hours. I've calculated this one out. I'll talk a little bit later about my calculations. I always put in here less than I actually worked. So I've calculated mine out to be 24 hours of work time. I'm going to put in 23 to be safe because I spend time having lunch, taking videos, doing those other kind of things that aren't necessarily working the claim. So I always put in less than what I actually worked, just to keep the MTO guys happy. If they ever come back to me and say, hey, did you calculate in your lunchtime, or what about these videos you took? I can say, yes, I took some time off for that. Okay, the hourly rate for a supervisor is $40 an hour. And you can see down at the bottom it's trying to calculate up everything for me. Okay, now workers. Workers. 2 people on the same trip. Sure, why not? Okay, and we're just going to call that labor. Labor, I've calculated them out at 25 hours. Again, I'm only going to put in 24. Take some time off for lunch. And it was over 2 different days. I should probably put in here again, see attachment for hours. And laborers can come in at $30. Alright, and again, it's updated at the bottom. If you look down here at the overall chart, it says that I've put in $1,600 worth of work, and my allowable transportation cost is $328. You'll notice my transportation cost is actually $720, and that's just because it can only be up to 20%. Okay, that's the labor. Now, I don't have any equipment. I don't charge for my high banker and pumps and stuff like that. I might be able to get away with it, but I don't want to push my luck. I don't want to push my luck with the MTO people, so I leave my equipment out. For this particular trip, we actually stayed overnight up there on one of our trips, so I'm going to put in here some hotel and food costs, just because I stayed overnight. So, type in here, overnight trips, 2 nights, and food. Okay, so first we're going to talk about the person. Okay, so it's Peter. Peter was there for 2 nights, and I roughly calculated out to be about $40 for food. We went out for Chinese food, had a beer that night, whatnot. coffee in the morning, bagel, whatnot at the local restaurant. So we're going to say $40 per night. And me, there was only 2 of us for the overnight trip. Alistair didn't stay the night, so I'm not even going to charge his 1 day. Just don't want to I don't want to push my luck. So again, I should say here, Peter, food, and food, hotel 2 nights, no, I better not put, sure, 2 nights, no, I'll only put the total cost. It was $201.14, $114 for the 2 nights. And you can see down here that it's calculated all that up. It's added it all in for us. We're all happy. And one last thing I can record here, I'm allowed to record, is the hour it takes me to put this report together. So report writing. Let's put it over here too. Report writing. And they allow you $25 per hour. And I'll say it took me an hour. So $25 for the report writing. There we go. The different things I'm allowed to charge for. Typically, I don't spend the nights going overnight to these claims, so typically I've only got these 2 columns filling in. This is the first time actually I've ever even recorded report writing, even though you're allowed to. But I thought I'd throw it in there. But there you go. Those are the types of things you can charge for. You can put in as a value for your exploration work. There is an information update put out by MTO that lists out everything you're allowed to and not allowed to use. Okay, we'll look down here. Transportation, labor, food and lodging, miscellaneous, and there's the overall value that it's allowing for me. $2,431.37. Now that I have that value, at any point I can go online and record this value, and that will give me my event number and everything, but I might as well finish off at least this part of the report first. There's basically done. Need to go in here and sign it. I've always just digitally signed it, typed my name in, and the date, 2016. And it is today, the 24th. There we go. The last thing I need to include in the report, I said that there's an attachment in the supplementary area about the hours I worked. So I do need to go and put in that little spreadsheet that I have there. So I have it attached to my computer here somewhere. Okay, that took me a little bit to get working. Unfortunately, my spreadsheet wasn't working on this computer. Figured it out though. So here's the spreadsheet I have of the hours I've put into this claim. October 11th. Oh, I have to change this. Slightly wrong. Okay, so this is March 16th through March 18th. Okay, so there's the hours properly. I can now copy that, copy all of that, copy, and go over into, let's find it here again, my document, and I'm just going to paste that into there. And now above where it says you can see attachment, you see here it's the hours for the Fraser Bedrock claim for 2015-16. October 11th, I was there by myself for 6 hours sampling. March 16th, there was 3 people for 8 hours. March 18th, I still have that slightly wrong. It was the 17th. 2 people for 10 hours. And you know, if you add all that up, it's 24 hours for the supervisor, 26 hours for the laborers, and you'll note that that's less than what I claimed above. No, sorry, that's more. I claimed less above. Now, this document is done. The only thing that is not on here is at the very top, the event number. I'll show you how to get that event number now. Now, I logged on to MTO off camera for obvious reasons, but I'll show you where to go to get your event number here. This is the first page you get to once you've logged into MTO, and you're going to go under placer claim, or if you're doing a mineral claim, you would go under mineral. The second one down here where it says placer claim exploration and development work expiry date change, that's your first one. That's where you need to go first. Click on that, and you can either find your claim on the map. I always find it easier just to type in the claim number. We can click next. Now it's asking for the claim number. Well, I happen to have that claim number nice and handy right here. It's 1038275. So I can type that in. 1038275. Click on next. It's asking if if this is part of a previous report. So it's not, so I make sure that no is selected. And next again. This is physical work. I can say on here what kind of work it was. This was plaster sluicing panning rocker box. Does anyone actually use a rocker box? I don't know. Okay, the first date of work was October 11th, 2015. So 2015. October is 10. The month. Oh, no. Have to spell it out. Oct. And it was 11. There's the first day. The last day was 2016. Oops. March. I keep getting question marks. Okay. March. And it was 17. There we go. Total value of the work. Well, I gotta flip back over to my other thing here because I don't remember what it was. Total value of work is 2431.37. 2431.37. 37. There is no permit number, no pack name. Need to say that the work was performed on that claim, and now it defaults to 1 year. Well, I know that's enough money to get me probably 5 or 6 years. So instead of 1 year, I am going to put it 6 years in the future. If that's too much, it'll tell me in a second. Click on next. And sure enough, I don't have quite enough value to get 6 years. I would need 2453. I don't quite have that, so I will just go back and change that. What did I put it into? Oh, I'm so close. I'll just take a month off. Instead of August, I'll say July. And it lets me go through now. A little bit of playing back and forth to get the most amount out of your value there, but it was pretty close there. Asking me if I want to upload my report right now, I'm going to say no because I'm not done it. So click on no, hit next. Make sure everything is right. Looks good, looks good, looks good. One more next. And there we go. It is confirmed. There's the event number, 5600373. I can go over here and put that in my document. Of course, I've forgotten it already. That was quick, wasn't it? Okay, 5600373. Double check I did that right. Perfect. Okay, now it's done. I can save this document. I'm just going to save it to my desktop right now. I'm on a different computer. I'll have to move it over to my other computer. The document's now saved. Well, that took some fiddling to do. Unfortunately, because I'm using my old laptop down here, it doesn't have quite the same programs and whatnot on it as I have on my main computer. And usually what I do is I save that PDF file in a version that can be opened in Microsoft Word. And I couldn't do that on my laptop, so I ran upstairs and saved it upstairs and brought it back down here. So now I've got the whole document opened up in Microsoft Word now. It's the same document, it's just in Word rather than the PDF file it was before. And because it's in Word, I can now do things like add pictures to it. So I can go and add the maps. Let me add the map right now to the end. So just under the insert, I'll just go and find insert the picture I have of the map. Unfortunately, it's in a strange place. Okay, so there's the map coming in. Now, I won't show you how to make Google Earth maps on this video. That's a video all to itself. But I just went to Google Earth and turned on the private land layers and whatnot and showed the Site 1 and Site 2 along the claim. Shows the overall claim, the claim number, where those two sites are. And I can put that in there. I can also go and insert all the pictures I wanted. Let's go and insert another page. Oops, I want this one up top here. Okay, on another page here, I can insert all the pictures. I have them all in a document right now, so I can just go and find that document and open it up. I did a bunch of work ahead of time just so you didn't have to watch me editing a whole bunch of pictures and whatnot. So I can just go and select all the pictures of us working the claim. The more the merrier. I even put a picture of the gold we found at the end. Yeah, they're all selected. Just copy and paste them into the other document. Control V for paste. And I'll just start plunking them in. I got pictures of all the different test holes I did all around. Some pictures of the overall site. Showing where I've been panning. Again, the overall site here. Showed Pete up there digging. I should have a picture of the high banker. Oops, there should be a picture of the high banker in there somewhere. There it is. There's the high banker where it was set up. So lots of pictures. They can tell I was actually there working. Can tell that I was doing things right, not discharging into the river, all that kind of stuff. They want pictures, they want a map, and the last thing that they want attached to this is a confirmation from the website when you went and submitted your hours. They want a snapshot of this here, just says that you actually submitted it. It shows the event number, everything. So I will capture the screen here, if I can figure it out on this computer. There, found the print screen button. So I copied it from the website just by hitting the control and print screen. Now I come over to my document and control V for pasting it. And there it is. There is the confirmation. There's the confirmation attached on there. And that's one of the things that they want in the document. They want the confirmation that you've uploaded those hours, that you've registered them. They want pictures of what you've done, and they want the map of where you were working. All of that's included, or including your report, and then you can save that document, and you do need to save it as a PDF file so that you can upload it. So you need to go to File, Save As, save it as a PDF. Of course, my old computer here. I may have to take this upstairs to save it as a PDF. Okay, well, it's now saved as a PDF. I had to run upstairs and save it as that PDF and then bring it back down here. But saved as a PDF, ready to go. Now we can upload it to Mineral Titles. Here we are, back on the MTO site. We can now upload it. You want to upload that file by going to Placer Claim tab again. We did go on to the date change section, but now we want to go on to the upload report. So click on the upload report. We need an event number. We'll have to go back to the document and find out what that event number was, 5600373. 5600373. Click on next. It wants to find the document, so we will go browse here. Got to get to the right spot. Here's the PDF I saved. And click the Add Attachment. This starts it uploading to the MTO site. Sometimes the upload can go quick. Sometimes it can be a long time. There, that didn't take long. Okay, it shows that it's there. I can, if I want to preview it, I can go and see what I uploaded. Make sure it's the right document. Look at that. Everything's right. Everything looks good. It's all here. Make sure the pictures. Oh, yeah. Good. Good to go. And it's uploaded. I hit the next button. And it's done. One more time, it's done. There. It's been uploaded. I know it's there. I'll get an email in my email box saying that it's done. And we're all happy. The document is done. The date is extended. Everything is complete. So that should take, well, that takes me about an hour. I'm pretty good with computers. It took me a bit longer this time around because I was taking the video and because I was using my old laptop. It had a lot of problems. Maybe it wasn't a smart idea to use my laptop, but my main computer upstairs doesn't have a video camera on the computer, so I can't record myself. But yeah, you get the idea. The only problems you might have is saving it as a PDF. Not all computers can do everything that is needed to save Word files as PDFs, but there's lots of online utilities for doing that if you have to. To upload the file, it has to be in PDF format. MTO won't accept a Microsoft Word document. Some people will upload all the pictures and maps and stuff separately. I like putting it all in one document. That way there's no confusion, and I also know it's all done. It's all there. It's all uploaded. Well, I hope all that helps. For those people that are doing a statement of work for the first time, hopefully those steps take you through everything. The process I just took you through is what I do for most of my claims. And I've never had the MTO people come back to me asking me for more information. I do realize I do some shortcuts, like doing areas rather than doing each specific test hole, but they've been happy with what I've been submitting so far. And until they come back to me asking me for more, I'll continue doing it that way. The mineral claims, same process. The only difference is you can't use sluicing as your work activity. You have to do open trenches or pits as your work activity. Well, guys, there it is. Statement of works. Until the next one. Bye.